Where am I going? This place is huge. That's the mask guy. Right, okay. No, okay. I am a disaster between episodes. These places are really big, and I'm constantly going to new places as opposed to, like, backtracking back and forth across a familiar location, like the Citadel, or, you know, insert place here, Raccoon. I almost said the Winchester Mansion? The Spencer Mansion. Like, any kind of, like, central location you get progressively more familiar with the more you play the game. Yes, guys, don't talk to me again. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, now I remember. Because I went and got the resonating fluid, so at this point I can just go talk to... Have I been to this particular room yet? It's iteration. So there's like 3 floors apparently. I need to go back to like the leader guy that almost executed me. Who I'm working for now. Which is a sane choice to make. That was a path. Huh. Look, it looks like an old computer keyboard. All yellowed and everything. Is this the wrong elevator? Hexagons! Shit. Where am I right now? Is this not the because I can't click on this. Is this not the elevator that I used to get here? Uh-oh. Now, maybe this is all a dead end I haven't been to yet, technically. Because, yeah, I think I walked directly into the room full of all the goop. But I think my starting floor was floor 2. Okay, here we are. Take me home. Ooh. Yeah, that's like several elaborate-ish zones, but then we finished each of them collectively over the span of like an hour, surprisingly. I'm used to like slowly exploring an area over the course of like 3 episodes and so on, so when I finish like multiple zones in an hour and it looks like I might not be going back, I'm like, whoa. Crazy. What a lightning fast episode I had there. I'm proud of me. Sister Angela, if the accusation hadn't come from that little hooligan Normand Malloy, I might have taken it seriously. Angela's always been an odd duck. As strange as she is, however, criminal activity doesn't seem in her nature. But you better question her just to be safe. This is to be a thorough investigation, no matter where it leads. No matter where it leads. Gee, I wonder who Sister Angela could be. Is it the only female character? Shit, it's not. Shit, where's Sister Angela? I can't believe anyone could have stolen this. Yeah, they're so heavy. Shit. God, I was really hoping that I was correct about that. Is she just out in the world? Did I meet her before I got here? Probably. Can you tell me where she is? Because I actually don't know. Oh, thank God. The Mystic. She rests in her personal quarters straight ahead of me, then left at the fork, then right through a door before a ramp, then right, candle in front of a door. Oh, fuck. Go straight ahead of him, left, right before the ramp, right, candle. What does ahead of you mean? Like this way? Did I go through this door a minute ago? Mystek will nurture us. Mystek will heal us. Have I been here before? Or is this the library I had to get access to? This is not only a place of knowledge, study, and self-discipline, it is also a sanctuary for those seeking refuge from misfortune. My own misfortunes were many. They culminated in the loss of my... No. It is too painful to speak. Let us say the vows of celibacy are easy for me. Oh. Alright, well, I'm back to ignoring the directions then, because I've got a whole place to explore. Fuck, this is like a whole other layer of hallway, not just a room. I'll ignore it for now, I guess. This place is a lot. Some people believe Simon of Verbulia knew some of the answers to the 9 enigmas, but kept it secret because it is the question, not the answer, that is important. Have you been to the Tower of the 9 Enigmas? I want to. Let us be free of the shackles that keep us apart, my sweet bird. Oh, we were just discussing the scriptures of Simon. Yes, the passage of the sweet baby of Mystek. Yes, and the shackles of reality we must free ourselves from. Hello. Hi. They're thinking about breaking free of the church to be with each other. Aw, this door doesn't work. This door also does not work. Oh, this place is huge. I figured it was huge, just visually, but I was locked into such a small area before. I think that door didn't work until now, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I feel like I tried all the doors and thought I'd completely explored the area. And yet, this is new.
As monks of the Order of the Mysterium, we have all taken vows of celibacy. Vows most necessary and most cruel. As you push me on the subject, let it be known that there was a day my thoughts strayed from my studies and wandered to a window from whence the sun of day spoke loudly. From this window, my eyes fell upon the most wondrous and terrible of creatures, a visitor in the marketplace. I only glimpsed her for a moment, but that brief encounter between her soul and my eyes transformed me. She haunts me. I ache for her. No, I shall speak no more of it. Jesus. Just celibacy is working out great for you guys, huh? Not emotionally damaging at all? That's Dulce, so she keeps wandering around. This is the great library of Hephaestus. Okay, so this was me getting access to the library. We have every manuscript, codex, and palimpsest pertaining to the scientific and spiritual studies of Mystek. As you can see, it's a rather underwhelming collection of works, but I suspect more scholars will put pen to paper now that Mystek has blossomed into adulthood. Unfortunately, the library is currently infested with bugs that have acquired a taste for our parchment. We've tried everything to rid ourselves of the pests, but all attempts have proven fruitless. Anyway, is there something else I can help you with? Nah. What's this guy's name? Brother Flammarion. Probably want to keep in mind he's got a white robe, and there's a suggestion that I could have more dialogue for him later, so should I keep him in mind maybe? I believe you have business with the Abbot, Detective. The 9 Enigma Chamber should be the least of your concerns right now. What if that's where the murderer is hiding? You never know. Unfortunately for the Brotherhood, the Grand Mysterium does not bother with the day-to-day running of the monastery. I think if he knew all the political maneuvering, he would be appalled. Instead, he's off in his own little world, locked away in his chambers all hours a day, studying the scriptures of Simon. I only saw him once. When I had first come to the monastery, he came out to greet the new arrivals and say a few words. He was wearing a hood, so it was hard to see his face, but his presence, his being, it was quite magical. That memory of him has kept me here all these years, despite the ugly politics and backstabbing. He is a man to revere. May the Grand Mysterium breathe long. What? Little physicsy moment. Guilty. What? Brother Zhongzhou is guilty. Well, time to hang him. Ah. Dear me, you're not a monk. Follow me into this alcove. Oh, this seems not worrying. I wouldn't dare speak of this to my brothers. They would throw me out of the order, but I believe. No, you'll think I'm crazy. Never mind. Okay. I believe. You're sure I can trust you? Never mind, I'll just say it. I believe that Simon of Burbulia and the Grand Mysterium are one and the same. I know. How can such a impossibility exist? Well, I've got a reporter friend who tells me Simon is not a Burbulian name. In fact, shh, someone's coming. I mean, Simon is not a Burbulian name. Get away from me, people will talk. Simon may not be a Burbulian name. It's like, yeah, it's because I know it. Pretty easy filter, that one. Not sure if any of those doors work. Simon of Burbulia wrote, Mystek will bloom in the morning of its birth, and flower out in the twilight of its days. Old things must pass, nothing is eternal. Do not trust too closely the power of Mystek. Yes, it is the power of the gods, but it is also finite and resolute. One day it will fade into eternum, such as the flame of a candle or a rose from the garden. This guy don't talk to me. The Christ bot. Just to mess with people, I pretend the wine is hot. What? Sometimes I pretend to break my teeth on the bread. They love me here. Do they? Or are they just exhausted by you? It is I, Mr. Funny Pants. Everyone thinks I am charming and incredible. They're definitely not humoring me or anything. It's the hallway I haven't gone into yet, maybe? Am I back on this floor? Yes. Now I've done the full loop up and around there, which loops around that direction, then comes back down. There's the balcony, I think. Now we can try the next hallway and explore that one and take a drink of water. Because I'm sitting here voicing a bunch of characters, and that's how it do. Are you a dead end? No, you're not. Damn it. The Brotherhood is a science, not a religion. We do not revere the enigmas. We want to solve them. We do not seek power. We seek knowledge. Mystek will deliver us. He might think that, but there's disagreement. They said that we don't revere them. This is not a religion. We just want to solve these problems, and no. But then the other person was like, it sounds like it's rumored that this one guy that caused all this or whatever, like, knew all the things already, and he just kept them a secret because the question is more important than the answer. And it's like, what? That sounds like a religion. There's the candle. That's probably my location I'm going for. And like, no, if you're preserving the question for eternity just for the sake of it, then you don't actually want to solve the enigmas. You want to preserve the current state in crystal for eternity. And that's a different goal. This fruit. Physics states it has potential energy. If I were to strike it, its energy would awaken. Can I take it? The potential energy of Mystek has awakened. But what struck it? Everything has potential energy, no? You, me. It takes only a push to disturb our slumber. Most sleep forever. Want a bite? I always liked physics when it came to like the movement and velocities and figuring out the puzzle of that stuff, but
energy calculations always threw me for a loop, and I was always like, what's going on here exactly? But I always took potential energy to be essentially tied to, like, gravity, essentially. Like, if something's up on a counter, then its potential energy is essentially like the amount of energy that would be expressed if it fell, essentially. I don't know. I don't know if just the act of striking something releases potential energy so much as the act of dropping something. I don't know. I'm not great on that topic. Our order places much stock in dreams and visions, purportedly related to Mystech. But you and I both know Mystech has no scientific effect on dreams. It does not inspire any mystical visions. No, the mystical visions and lucid dreams touted by certain members here are caused instead by a more mundane source, Tetra. It's a rare hallucinogenic dreamstone, outlawed on most planets, and much sought after by certain circles of people. Be wary of any in the Order who would lay claim to sanctity through such holy visions. Holy visions indeed. There's about as much truth to that claim as there was in the rumor that there aren't any side effects from heavy Tetra use. The only truth is that not enough scientific research has been conducted with regards to Tetra users. That's one reason I'm here. I'm here to study the side effects of the Tetragoners in this Masonic environment, but I'm sure you're not interested. The scramble for power. The Great Awakening has brought out the worst in people. I had no idea my brothers were so easily seduced by power. Wait, what are you doing on the monastery grounds? It looks like there was also a Great Awakening of greed. That is an awakening. Yeah, everyone's trying to clamor for Mystech power now that the items are actually doing something. For so long they were just kind of studying, but they all had goals. They were all competing on some level. That's been exasperated. According to the scriptures of Simon, the awakening of Mystech is to be followed by a great war of the cosmos. The Brotherhood of Mysterium is divided between building an army to prepare for this vague battle and expanding the reach of the Order through its entrepreneurial designs. I see both sides of the issue. Mystech has awakened, so where is the war? Who is the enemy? Until the answers are apparent, the best way to serve the Order is through financial security. Solvency brings the leverage to deal with anything. Money can buy armies. On the other hand, the mysterious destruction of Sunder should be indication enough that the universe is in danger. Hephaestus is the center of Mystech. Could we be the next target? If the scriptures are right about the Great Awakening, then maybe it's right about the Great War. Why would the scriptures know about the Great Awakening if it's like a trans-dimensional thing from a different universe entirely? Like, how does that information even reach us and become a thing that we would know to think about? You're disturbing my prayers, leave me be. That was a camera angle. Oh, how do I tell which one I'm clicking on? Yeah, that's both of them. I keep seeing women in pairs. Seeing them walk around in pairs with red hoods is evocative because of Handmaid's Tale. So I'm like, excuse me? When I'm in a religious order area full of like these red tapestries with big icons on them that looks fake, like a little fascisty, then you see a bunch of pairs of women walking around in red robes, and I'm like, this is evoking imagery that I'm not sure they're meaning to evoke. And I think the Handmaid's Tale was out well before this game. I think it's from the 80s. Let's see here. 1985, yeah. So it had quite a lead. But that could be a completely unintentional parallel. Guilty. Slug people keep saying guilty. Or whatever these dudes are. Got like a mouth? Those eyes. I guess they're snakes, kind of, with arms. They're trippy looking. He kind of looks like he has a piece of caution tape on his shoulders as his shawl. What is... I mean, I haven't necessarily internalized their tenets or anything, but what does guilty have to do with anything? Aren't they here to solve a puzzle? And maybe I need to talk to this guy again. Did I ever actually talk, hand in the other thing? Thank goodness, the fluid density analyzer was down to its last drop of solution. Excellent work. I expect you to find the location of the 3 keys of Cavatum in no time at all. I believe you have a job to do, Detective. So now I have access to the library? It wasn't that the deal? But I should meet with what's-her-name first. I guess that was in this hallway. Like in between here? Yeah, with the candle. Strangers in trench coats, questions on your lips. The gods sent me a vision of you last night. You will ask about the 3 keys of Cavatum, and you will accuse me of stealing them. Ditch the psychic mumbo-jumbo act, sister. I ain't buying what you're selling. Weep tears of ignorance, fool. My trials were arduous, my tribulations most grueling. The death of my husband and son were worthwhile sacrifices on the road to divine communion. My sanctity is assured. Luckily for you, the gods do not disapprove of my cooperation. This handful of grit remind you of anything? The seeding of the worlds by the sweet chariots of life. From earth all arises, the dirt of life, the grit of living. Cute. Do your visions tell you anything about the disappearance of the keys? My mystical graces are elusive. They do not choose them. They are chosen for me. As for the disappearances of our holy relics, I can only mourn for their theft. Where were you in the wee hours last night after Compline prayers? I dreamt of cowslip and bayberry leaves. There was a man in the woods, wooing me against the bark of glowing Mistec trees. Then the rain of truth came and washed away the lies of the world. I was the only one left standing. No thief am I. The keys of Cavatum are inconsequential to me. I am an emissary of the gods, a seamstress of light and shadow, painting the truth through my visions. Well, if you didn't pinch the 3 keys, who did? Balance is delicate. Power has shifted dramatically. Not only in the universe, but within our own hollowed stones. Brother Lyceria recently vacated the position of abbot. His political enemies are abundant. Revenge often leads men to reckless acts. Won't you agree? To test my patience is to risk the wrath of the gods. Trouble me no more. Well, shit. I need to ask where Brother Lyceria is. Everyone has potential motivations, but it's not like any of these people are just gonna, like, admit that they did it. So my entire approach may be a bit flawed here, but it's how he do.
My former master. Right through this door, then make an immediate left.
This door left. Brother Lyceria. Must be you?
You disturb my prayers for what reason?
Does this grit look familiar to you?
You interrupt my prayers to shake a fistful of dirt in my face. I question the abbot's judgment in allowing an outsider to lead this investigation.
Know anything about the robbery of the 3 keys of Cavatum?
Am I under suspicion? I would never do anything to hurt the monastery of the Brotherhood, or the Brotherhood. I am an austere and devoted follower of our order.
You're well connected. Any idea who might have stolen the keys?
I am distrustful of all outsiders. One fellow in particular, a mistech dealer named Thomas Litton, especially stokes the fires of my suspicion. The 3 keys of Cavatum would fetch a healthy sum in the black market for a man with the right connections, which I hear he does. He's currently under house arrest. Should be easy enough to find and question him.
Word around town is you used to be the abbot of this dungeon. What happened?
My tenure as abbot was at an end. Nothing more. May I return to my prayers now?
Where were you after Compline prayers last night?
I retired to my chambers immediately after Compline and slept restfully until morning. May I return to my prayers, please? You've interrupted my precious time long enough. Leave me to my prayers.
Got an update. So now we have a dealer who's on house arrest, which I assume means he's not in this building? We have to go outside, I assume.
The dealer of Mistech. He enjoys supper at the entrance hall, straight ahead of me. Make a right at the Pool of Radiance, then straight down the hall. Turn left at the Abbot. Head straight.
I thought the Pool of Radiance was... What? Don't I pass the Abbot on the way to the Pool of Radiance? Or is this the Pool of Radiance? Wait, there's no pool there. And I'm gonna go look at the library. We'll deal with the next step later. But I should have access to this place now. That's the 9 enigmas. Whoops. Is this whole area what counts as a library? Kind of unclear. Or was that a different hallway? Was this the path where I couldn't get through? Oh, this is the entrance. I do not have a great internal map of this place yet. And before I ever do, I'll lose it. Oh wait. The guy takes his lunch. Hey, nice to see a friendly face around here. Is there something I can help you with? Have you seen this grit anywhere? Yeah, I know that grit anywhere. There's always tons of it on the bottom of the shipping crates of Mistech they send me. You gotta talk to the librarian about it. He's like a geologist or something. Hey! It's probably from the tunnel transport area where they load the Mistech onto a train to take to the entertainment district. I've seen the whole process. This stuff is everywhere. That's not new information though, because I already knew that. That's how I found it. Where were you after evening prayers last night? After evening prayers, I was fast asleep. I remember being woken up by the monks making their way to bed. They sounded like penguins. Sounded like penguins. Okay. Yeah, I hear you're the man who can hook me up with black market art items. Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir, I don't deal in anything illegal like that, though I hear it's quite lucrative and it gets you invited to really trendy parties on Corsica. I love parties. No, believe me, I'm a legitimate Mistech dealer. Why would I want to lose my license selling heavily prized objects dart to men with expensive suits and exquisite girlfriends?
Know anything about the robbery of the 3 keys of Cavatum last night? Of course not. I feel like a criminal or something. I'm constantly under watch, and everyone looks at me funny. It's horrible. They make jokes about my weight, and they spit in my food. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I'm only here renegotiating my Mistech contract. I assure you I have nothing to do with the disappearance of the keys. I'll spit it in your soup unless you tell me who you think stole the keys. I swear I don't know anything about it, honest, I don't. But spit it in anyway, I could use the flavor. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know anything else. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Spit it in anyway, I could use the flavor. Thomas Litton? Yes, he's at the top of my list as well. That's why he's under house arrest. Without any evidence, I'll have to release him soon. I'd all but given up on him being the culprit. Question him, see if you can't dredge up anything we might have missed. That's, we've tried that already. We have information about the tunnel stuff, I guess. Ah. They're saying that the guy that I was making note of before, because dialogue choices were unusual and that they had a follow-up question, but I couldn't do it yet. That flagged me to, it's like, I should remember that character. And it turns out he's the geologist. Is there something I can help you with? Are these 2 clumps of grit from the same source? Sir, I'm an herbalist. Why are you showing me 2 handfuls of grit? Herbalism is not the study of dirt, it's the study of herbs. I don't know who told you I was a geologist, but they are quite incorrect. But if you want my opinion on that grit, I can tell you this much. I hate it. When monks come here to study after they've been supervising the loading of Mistech into the tunnel transport, I'll find this residue all over my manuscripts. It drives me mad. Is it so hard for them to wash their hands? Tell me, is it? Let's see what we have here. Oh yes, look at the granular consistency of the grit. You see those silver flecks of pumice there? This is sediment from the Levotic processing plant. It sticks to the bottom of the packing crates when readying Mistech for transport. Later, when the crates are put on board the tunnel transport, the sediment falls on the transport tracks and is crushed into this fine grit. There's no doubt about it. I may not be a geologist, but I know my pet peeves. The crime scene grit is definitely from the tunnel transport area. Hope that helps you with your investigation. All I ask for in return is both of those samples. I'd like to put them in a safe place, away from my previous manuscripts. The grit was the solution all along. You're a genius. Boots. I always have to remember how weird your name is. Sly Boots and Stiletto anyway. A couple who both named themselves after shoes, as far as I can tell. For some reason. This does make this entire runaround and all of the convoluted steps involved in it kind of silly. Just because of the fact that, like, literally the first thing we noticed was that there's 2 pieces of grit. One at the crime scene and one at the loading bay. And that's all that we've learned so far, is that that's probably important. And it's like, fuck, that's where we started, man. Is it you? You what? You connected the 2 clumps of grit. I see. Maybe you ought to take a seat, detective. I'm gonna tell you a little story. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a monk. To me, being a monk was far better than being the president of PAX. Even before finding work here at the mining plant, I wanted to be part of the Order of Mysterium. It's the only place I knew I belonged. Monks do whatever they want. They have access to a library filled with books on Mistech where they can spend all afternoon reading. Or they can turn their attention to the mystery of the 9 enigmas and let their mind drift into space. Man, they have it made. Because I've been a worker at the mining facility, I'm considered hands-off. I could never become a member of the Brotherhood, so when someone offered me a chance to change that, I took it. Sister Angela said if I stole the 3 keys of Cavatum for her, she'd open up the books for me when she establishes her own competing monastery just a few volcanoes west of here. Yeah, I stole the keys, but I don't have them. Last night we used the tunnel transport to take the 3 keys to the surface. One of her associates took possession of them there. I've been full of remorse and guilt ever since. But what was I thinking, stealing from the Brotherhood? My life is over. They're gonna throw me into the Mysterium Levent. I just know it. Just leave, bro. Please, leave me alone. I don't know where the keys are, honest. Dude, just leave. If it's the end of your life or whatever, just fucking get out of here. Like, it's not hard. I don't think they have a chip in you that explodes or anything. Like, just leave. Alright, Boots. Before barging into Sister Angela's room looking for evidence, let's get help from another party member first. I don't want a disastrous repeat of the Anselmo case. If you're gonna search the room, someone better distract the suspect. Ah. So, Grumpos. Can I leave still? Okay. I think I still need to use the front door, don't I? Whee! So now everyone's wandering around. So I too just kind of need to wander around for a bit till I see Grumpos. Because he's very distracting. It's like his thing? What a brown planet. Even when you leave that area, you come out here and it's still just kind of brown again. What is with that voice? I still don't get it. Two-man job? Well, I'm flattered you thought of me, Seamus, but don't you think Dr. Bowman would make a better choice? I think the girl's heartbroken over having her home split in half. Just look at her, wandering the streets like an orphan. Do the right thing and keep her company, son. I'll be shopping. What? But you're the distractor person. All right, well, let's get Ro Bowman then. That just seemed like the intuitive adventure game solution. Two-person job, huh? Let's kick it. I have party members again. Party member again. One, singular, uno. This game actually kind of has a devastating amount of backtracking. With zero fast forward at all. It would really be a lot more apparent how much time I'm spending walking back along paths over and over again. I'll distract her while you creep inside her quarters and look for evidence. Push open that huge door around the corner, walk along the ledge, and sneak in through the window. Good luck, Doctor. Oh, I'm gonna play as her now. Push open that big door. The window? He meant the window. I didn't even know it opened that way. Well, this is precarious as all hell. Please don't fall to your death, Dr. Bowman. Oh, I can just click from here. If she was stuck, she couldn't go any further. But yeah, I guess if the window opens outward, then you need to open it first. I'm not surprised. My dreams warned me your lingering presence would be a constant source of irritation in my life. Please spare me your feces-ingesting smirk, shit-eating grin, and tell me what you want. I've, got a confession to make. Oh no. Oh, TikTok. This doesn't look like it. Confession? Confessions are for sinners, detective. What matter of confession would you burden me with? I have visions too. Shit. This isn't what I'm looking for. This can't be it. Hog droppings and monkey farts. I doubt highly you also commune with the gods. Every night, usually when I'm taking a Trotsky. Looking for where the keys are? Shit. And what do the gods whisper in your ear every night? I'm dying to know. They tell me who stole the 3 keys of Cavatum. Fuck. Until you have evidence to prove my guilt, I won't have you slandering my name within these halls. Good night, detective. I trust you won't disturb me again. Wait. How dare you step outside my quarters? Get outside this instant. What the heck took you so long? I tried to keep her talking as long as I could. Let's try that again. Fuck. Yeah, we're just looking for evidence. That's a little vague. I hope you didn't have anything to do with that intruder, detective. Can you step out into the hall for a second? Doesn't look like it. You're acting quite suspicious, detective. What game are you playing at? I'd rather not conduct an investigation through a crack in the door. You've wasted enough of my time. Good night, detective. Oh, did she just find it? It just ended. Oh. I think I found what you were looking for. Oh, that's a little hard to see. Felicia, destroy the note containing the location of the items. There's a ridiculous detective on the case. He's clueless, so we've still got time. I'll make sure Brewster doesn't talk. He will be easy to eliminate. All you have to do is make sure that note is destroyed. I mean it, Felicia, don't fail me. If I find out you've been drinking at the eco bar again, not only will I forbid you from joining the sisterhood, but I'll withhold all, and then like there's a mess. I just went above and beyond the Call of Duty, Boots. Give me a chance to catch my breath. Oh, so now I need to get a new party member? Is that what you're saying? I kind of dig this part. This is fun. It's really just whenever I'm not in a dungeon that I'm like, yay! Back to enjoying the main part of this game that's enjoyable. How did you beat me out here? That's the pointer guy. Eco bar. Yeah, I've been here before. It seemed all noteworthy because I could just go inside and it was like a whole developed area. Now I know it comes up later. But Felicia was supposed to destroy her note. And it looks like we only had access to that note because she spilled ink or something when she was writing it. So then she tore that piece of the parchment off and started over or something. Burp. Hey cutie, buy a girl a drink? Canned heat. I'm staying at room 3 at Lum Samuel if you want to drop by later and help me take my mind off my troubles. Kiss me. Room 3 at La Samuel. So I think we're not going to do that, but we are going to go to that room because we can now we know where we can steal the evidence that she hasn't destroyed. All I have to do is remember where La Samuel is. I don't. It's the hotel, but it's because these areas are all new. I still don't know them very well. It's why I kind of don't mind it when you get a bunch of games set in one location. Like the Yakuza games. You get really familiar with the place.
then you know your way around, and that's kind of a nice feeling. The reward for learning a location. The Pathologic games lean heavy into that. The first game in particular, you play 3 campaigns that'll take place in one map. And it's a game about navigating a map, so you're suddenly like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. The game even exploits that in a cool way, where like it'll use your knowledge of the map to let you naturally just realize that there might be sub-objectives of a quest featuring certain characters in certain places that the game never tells you about, but your familiarity with everything will make you naturally draw that conclusion. Room 3 is probably not on floor 3. But here I am. Yeah, 5. 6. Yeah, let's go to floor 2. Zip. 1, 2, 3. I think I noticed at some point that I could interact with this, didn't I? I think I was specifically disappointed that I could not interact with this. And I was like, why is this area so elaborate, but you can't do anything in it? But now we know. Yo. Well, I thought she was supposed to not destroy the note about where the keys are. I mean, did I say not? I thought she was supposed to destroy the note that of where the keys came from, not, you know, apparently she has the keys. Those are clearly the 3 keys, right? Okay, so let's go back. He said, I mean, he said not to touch them. That means I shouldn't click on them, right? So I know where they are now, so now I should just go back to the dude and be like, yo, found him, brah. I know you wouldn't accuse anyone of a crime without hard evidence, would you, detective? I expect you to find the location of the 3 keys of Cavatum in no time at all. But I... So to get into the room, we used Boots' primary ability. But he, unlike all the other characters, has a secondary environmental ability. Which should have been pretty obvious as the solution for how you inform people of where something is without touching them. Yep, kicking myself there. Not that much though, because it's like a fucking 30-second solution to that problem. Okay, come on, game. Alright, let's just click on them and pick them up or something. If the solution is to click on them, I'm gonna be a little frustrated because the game made a point to tell me not to touch them. Just report where they are. And perfectly, Boots has a camera, which solves that problem. Well, looky here. Guess these are the 3 keys everyone's making so much noise about. Dinky little suckers. I better hightail it back to the abbot and tell him they're here. Motherfucker, Boots. That's not fair. God damn it. That's disappointing quest design a little bit. If you, because there's no separation. Like in an adventure game, left click is interact and right click is observe, or vice versa. But there is no split between observe and interact. So when you click on something, he'll interact with pretty much anything. So that's how you pick up items. So logically, it's like, haha, it'll be a sin if I pick these up, so I'll photograph them. It's like, oh yeah, that little bit of cleverness? They weren't intending for that. Oh dear, you smell like a Berbulian brothel.
Spare me the jokes about my smell. I just want what's coming to me. Access to the library and a stick of deodorant.
We keep our word here, Detective. Baby fresh or musk.
Ground rules as defined by the scriptures. Ye shall not willfully abuse, deface, destroy, or otherwise disturb the slumber of any book, tome, manuscript, or codex within the library. Ye shall leave all briefcases, bags, leather wine pouches, and electronica larger than a baby goat outside the library walls. Grape juice also shall be expressly forbidden. Lastly, ye shall behave in a manner appropriate to the order of Mysteria and befitting the servant of the gods.
Do you smell musk? Damnation! I've poured through half these books and I'm no closer to discovering the missing link. It's all superstition with no basis in reality. I came here looking for science and I found religion instead. And these infernal bugs are everywhere. One nearly crawled up my goose pipe.
You'd think these guys could afford an exterminator.
Did you see that? Do that again.
Do what? What did I do?
It's the missing element to the Miztec. These bugs. I should have noticed the bugs are attracted to Miztec. Damn me!
What are you talking about?
Not only are we rich, we've now got the full power of Miztec at our greedy little fingertips.
Fun little boredom montage for Boots. So I was right to suspect the religion aspect, despite that guy's protests. That's like a distressing, almost like cordyceps fungus thing with the bugs, where they're all attracted to this Miztec for the purposes of basically dying on it, and then when they die on it, they'll power it. Like, that's horrifying. Fetch Dr. Bowman and bring her back here. I'll explain everything when you return. And pick up any bugs you find along the way. Wait until she gets a load of this. Wait. Pick up the bugs. Those anthills that we've been seeing the entire game. Suddenly I think we have our answer for what the fuck's up with those and why they're everywhere. God, there's so many of them. Hopefully I don't have to find all of them or anything, because there's so many. There's more of those than I think any other collectible in the game. They're clearly going to come up at some point, because it's just like a weird, noteworthy detail in the environment they kept repeating. But Boots was just like, eh, bugs. What was that? Oh, there's one. Two function host. Hey, I got a red beetle. No bugs are coming out. You're kidding. Grumpus made a breakthrough. I gotta see this. Whee! No time for chit-chat. Isn't your grandfather waiting for you? Yeah. Okay. This is going to take a while to explain, so both of you be patient and keep an open mind. This sounds harder than it is. You only really have to tell Boots to be patient. I don't think Bowman has that problem. I think she's technically the more successful scientist of the two of you. Alright, boy and girls. Cut the cackle and pay close attention. I want everyone to look at each other very closely. We are now the deadliest people in the galaxy. This latest breakthrough allows us to harness Mystech, modifying and configuring its functionality to create our own flexible designs. The key was these bugs and a special host. Weren't you wondering what this was when you were pounding on it, Slick? I ran across it a few years ago at a Brazilian junk sale. Didn't even realize it was Mystech. Bought it for a steal. Oh, don't look so shocked, Dr. Bowman. When Mystech became active, you kept it under your hat for days until we reached Votown, so don't give me any grief about keeping this secret, girl. Anyway, I've been sitting on this slag for years, not quite knowing how it fit into the puzzle. I'd almost given up, until this handsome idiot unlocked the mystery for me. You see, all pieces of Mystech are just frozen slags of Elementor Mystech hardwired with only one function. Fire slag burns, poison spin poisons, and so on and so forth. Some slags, however, serve as hosts that can be modified by the biological circuitry in these bugs, allowing you to create Mystech that burns in one configuration and poisons with another. The bugs must have been bred or engineered to serve as data input for the Mystech hosts. The information must be coded into their genetic structure. Let me show you how it works. Whoa. On the bottom of this host is a single node below a roughly hexagonal ring of 6 other nodes. Note the 7th one in the center. That bottommost node affects what the host does, and may even harness complete control over the primary functioning of the biodevice. So when you place a bug on a host, certain nodes will glow with a chemical light that indicates active nodes. If you look carefully, each is slightly colored. These glowing nodes either determine what color of bug you can place in them, or how happy the bugs will be in this particular slot. We'll need to experiment to know for sure. Also, some bugs contain more involved data and light up more nodes than others. Keep an eye out for those more valuable bugs. And one last thing, I have reason to believe you can feed these bugs even when they're locked into position in the host. Look around places we found Mystech for anything else these bugs might be eating. I found one of them chewing on a petal from one of those re-blooming life flowers, so let's try some of those first. After that, maybe they eat Bippy. I've asked Fatima to keep track of our hosts. One of the perks of being a trailblazer is that we can name them whatever we want, since we're the first to discover them. Okay? What's your problem, Ace? What part of my lecture didn't your small handbasket of neurons understand? Just put a bug on the bottom node. It will dictate the function of the device. Then put other bugs on some of the other glowing nodes above it to complete the function. Hope you have enough energy to use it. Don't worry about the other hoo-ha. Your brain's probably doing 60, trying to tie your shoes in the morning. Okay, are we about done here? Okay, so now that we've figured out the Elementor system, let's seek an audience with the Grand Mysterium, shall we? This seems so completely in character for like a jRPG to have like, here's this hyper complicated progression system we're gonna introduce late in the game. It's like a sphere grid or some shit. But for me, my eyes glaze over mainly because I'm like, I just don't care about the combat in this game. It's not very entertaining, and customizing my characters to be better at it is also not particularly entertaining, and I'll quickly spend more time customizing my characters than I do in the fights themselves because of how rare and not that challenging they usually are. So we'll see. I'll probably half-ass the system unless I particularly have a reason to believe that it's like a roadblock for me. That's definitely what I'm thinking about that.